All right, doing a podcast. I don't know what's happened to Keith. I've lost him. I don't know where he's gone. Keith, you there? You there?
I don't know what happened there.
I pressed the button to do that. Welcome to the Monkey Nut Punch podcast. And as always, in these podcasting journeys, I'm joined by Keith. Hello, Keith.
Yes, me. Hello. How are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but somehow I'll figure out how to put Star Wars in it.
There is actually news.
Did it with King's coronation. So it's like, this reminds me of Star Wars. You know, the bit where they get a medal.
He was wearing a similar coat to Snoke. That gold coat was very similar. I've seen somebody make a connection to that. He definitely was. There's no denying that.
Yes.
But no. We actually have got to talk about Star Wars this week. Several things. Lucasfilm are very much in the news at the moment. So
yes, they are in the news at the moment for two things. Going to try and find, actually, I should have brought this up before we started, but hey ho. We're going to talk about a film. We're going to talk about a TV series called The Silo, which is on Apple TV. A TV series that Keith likes, my wife likes, and I find incredibly boring and slow because I've had the story before. And here comes the funny. Here comes a funny thing. Yeah, when Jonathan Nolan brings out his version of Fallout at the end of the year, they will cover the entire series of The Silo in one episode, ending with the Vault Dweller leaving.
Thin ice here. You see, you're wrong here because your wife likes it, and you know that the wife is always not right. If your wife likes it, therefore I'm right. Endorsed by your wife. I can't get a better trump card than that.
Anyway, before we get into The Silo, all right? Before we get into Silo, hello, Chuck. Before we get into The Silo, we need to talk about a few things. So, one of the things that we're talking about is, because Keith loves to wedge in Star Wars everywhere, is the Galactic Star Cruiser at Disney World in Florida. A place where you get put into what can only be described as I can't say it. Well, I can say it. No, I'm not going to say it because it's rude. A special van that evil people do to do notorious things to people, and transported to this hotel. And then for some reason, Disney are under the impression that they are going to take on the Wizarding World and Harry Potter by not providing Star Wars fans with Star Wars stuff. That's the best way of describing it.
No, you're absolutely right. I've been taking part in several conversations on Facebook groups since the news broke about this.
Facebook?
I have to. But you know that it's $5,000 a night. It's like $5,000 for a family.
Oh no, I think it's a bit more than that. I thought it was $6,000.
Oh, is it really? Well, there was the thing was, it was the usual people fucking hating on Lucasfilm, and there was a lady in there, right? And she said, "Me and my family, we stayed there. It was really good fun. The kids loved it, right?" And I went, "You know what? Fair enough. I get that. I get that kids are going to love it." And I posted a comment. I said, "Look, do not attack the people that enjoyed this. There are going to be people that liked it, and I get that. And fair play to them, respect." What perplexes me is Disney knew the sequel trilogy divided the fans, right? They knew that, right? There's no taking that away. Why did you not set it in the time of the Republic, which would then appeal to all Star Wars fans, right? Why would you set it intentionally in a divided fan base time? Do you want to make any money, Disney? This is why I mean, sacking Bob Chapek. If I was a shareholder in Disney now, I would be calling for a mass firing because it's beyond incompetent. They just don't want to make money. Disney as a business does not want to make money. That's how they're behaving.
Right. So, I hate to tell you, Keith, kids are impressed by pretty much anything. Ball on a bit of string, hoop.
Yeah, but when you're charging $6,000
hang on a second. Yeah, I know. And when you're charging $6,000, you have to impress the parents. Yeah, you don't have to impress the children, because the children, as I said, they get impressed over small things. They'll reach for the nearest shiny, sparkly thing. Yeah, what do you call it? Yeah, it's terrible. I found an article on Bounding into Comics that I might bring up in a second, but I really, what I would have done, what I really would have done is I would have had it so it rotates. So it would have had prequel trilogy, original trilogy, and new trilogy. Yeah, and you didn't know which one you were going to get. That would have been more exciting. Please, I want Darth Vader. Yeah. If not, you got to figure out how to create some kind of animatronic General Grievous. Yeah, or Count Dooku is probably easier. I'll be honest with you. They do like a rip off Count Dooku and the younger Obi-Wan Kenobi to fight him, because that people would still be excited for that. Yeah, and not knowing would also help for that too. So you could sit there and you could mix it around in bits. There was a cocktail in there for like $16,000. Did you see that?
I heard about it.
Yeah, $16,000, and it's like I could actually probably buy the blood of someone and drink it for $16,000. So it's you're absolutely right. Yeah, you don't buy a brand. You wouldn't, right? Universal didn't buy the Harry Potter brand and make the deals with J.K. Rowling to create something completely new and something completely different, did they? Yeah. They knew what people wanted. If you go to Gringotts in Universal, it's Gringotts from the films. And, it has the dragon on top. Star Wars.
And you've touched upon something really important there, because I don't know if you've seen the Max poster for the Harry Potter TV series that's coming. They're retaining the look because of that. So Hogwarts still looks like Hogwarts. They're retaining the look. That's genius, because the park and everything they've got at the park is still relevant. When you go to that park in 10 years' time, having watched the TV series, it's still going to look like the same world. That's clever. You're absolutely right.
But I know why, because J.K. Rowling is like, that's what Hogwarts looks like. That's what Hogwarts is. That's what it's going to be. We've already paid for it. Let's just use it. Yeah. And it's like, that makes perfect sense. I'm hoping, I've got hopes for that series, but I've not got hopes, if that makes any sense.
No, I mention it because of you're making comparisons to Harry Potter, and you're absolutely on the money with it. I do not get why they only wanted to celebrate the stuff that they created in the Star Wars world. Why are you intentionally pushing out fans? You put the Millennium Falcon in there. That's the only thing that you did that made it recognizable. I genuinely do not understand what these people are thinking. These people do not have business minds. I mean, when we boil this down to business, screw everything out, take the emotion out of it. You want to appeal to the broadest range of customers that you can, right? Because you want to make money. Why do you set it in a time that has divided people, right? Yes, the sequel trilogy they didn't all make $1 billion. Yes, they made a lot of money, but they also had a lot of drop off. There's also a hell of a lot of people really, not happy about it. The Last Jedi being, the number one. So I just don't understand it. So when this news just does not surprise me, because I've seen the shill access YouTubers found very few things to really compliment it, to say that it was nice. So,
I've watched a lot of this guy called Tim Tracker, who does lots of Disney stuff. He fell out with Disney at one point. It's funny because all the kind of geeks and gamers lots are they must be friends with these other bloggers, because they're all sticking up for him. And it's a little on the mad side. Can we look at this article here? Let's see what's written. Okay, it's branding into comics, but Disney shuts down Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel in another piece of mounting evidence that Disney has destroyed the Star Wars brand. The Walt Disney Company has reportedly announced the closure of the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser barely just a year. The closure is just the latest in the ever-growing mountain of evidence that the company has succeeded in fundamentally destroying the Star Wars brand. I wouldn't say destroy, I would say mismanaged, because they have. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser described as a hotel site officially as a revolutionary two-night experience where you are the hero. You and your group will embark on a first-of-its-kind Star Wars adventure that you're on your own. Anyway, there you go. So here we go. Here we go. So this is the pricing. The hotel initially announced that Disney was charging $1,209 per guest per night, or $4,809. This is without sales tax, I imagine. USD for a cabin room for 2 guests. I could go to Vegas and I could have borderline illegal fun with that amount of money. And I wouldn't even step in the casinos. So yeah, that's mad.
It's nuts what they were charging for this, and it just doesn't surprise me. Look, at the end of the day, I know Disney just don't fundamentally understand Star Wars fans.
No, right. I don't think it's Star Wars. I think it's Disney got an impression that they mismanaged the Muppets. And I bring this up because I think this was the first one that they bollocksed up, but no one talks about it, is the Muppets. I love the Muppets. Yeah, a lot of fucking static. All right. But they've kind of, bollocksed. Yeah, they bollocksed it up. But it's. I
can't. I mean, I tried to watch that Muppets, kind of like piss take rock band thing. But it just, I couldn't get through it. And this is the Muppets, and I love the Muppets too. Although Miss Piggy's cameo at the royal the coronation concert was fucking hilarious. that was genius. I love the Muppets. I'm with you on that.
It's not just Star Wars, because we've seen Marvel, and you watched Ant-Man recently, so you bloody know, that that for some reason they've got it in their head, and they've got it wrong, and I have no idea. The receipts show that these things are cocking up. Disney, that was the other story. Disney Plus losing all those subscribers.
Well, now they're putting this down to the fact that they've lost the cricket in India.
Nope, that was last month's reports, not this one. Tiki bastards, can't do that. Okay, this is genuine internal losses this time. It really is.
And I would agree. I can certainly give you some of the reason, right? Disney Plus. I mean, you see, this is the thing, right? They are using the Indian numbers. Now, what they're not telling you, and this is absolutely true, and I've told you this before, Disney Plus in India and here and certain other territories in Asia is not Disney Plus, right? Because Disney sold the rights for all of Disney's content to a company called Hotstar, which is an Indian-owned streamer and media conglomerate. They're huge, right? They used to own like Star Movies and all these channels. If you've ever traveled in Asia, right, you've stayed in a hotel somewhere in Asia, you've more than likely seen like Star Movies or Star Sports on some of the channels, right?
I don't know if you've got it, but we've got Star on as part of our Disney Plus package.
This is an Indian company. Here it is called Hotstar. You don't go to disneyplus.com, you go to hotstar.com, right? And then it comes up branded as Disney Plus. But Disney are counting their subscribers as Disney Plus subscribers, which they are not, right? Now, it's taken them 2 years to get a bloody smart TV app here. 2 fucking years. It only came out this week, right? And it's been available here for 2 years. A smart TV app. Kind of the essential thing when you're watching Disney Plus content, and it's taken them 2 freaking years. Am I surprised they've lost 4 million subscribers? No, because there's no fucking good content on there anymore. And you look at what they've done to Marvel, and I can't believe how bad Ant-Man was. I mean, seriously, my bloody 8-year-old niece could write a better movie. The comedy was not funny. It was out of place. It was ridiculous. It did not have the feel of the first 2 movies. It was the complete reverse of Picard season 3. Whereas Picard season 1 and 2 were really shit, and Picard season 3 was really good. Right, the first 2 Ant-Man movies were right. This one, the fuck. Right, his daughter is all of a sudden a genius. He managed to fucking build this amazing machine while she was still at high school that could fucking scan the quantum realm. Right, no apparent training. She's just a genius. She's amazed, Buzz.
Right? No, see, this is the thing. This is the thing. If you'd have turned around and goes, it was Hank's thingy, I just copied it and finished it off because the notes were there. It was quite easy. I figured I claim some credit. That would have made a bit more sense. And there's a bit in the car. Yeah, there's a bit in the car where they're chatting away, and she has a go at his dad, and I could literally fix that scene with 1 sentence. Yeah, love you too, Dad. That's all she had to say. All that, and I love you too, Dad. Yeah, I'll do all this, and I love you too, Dad. So it's, yeah.
But here's the other thing, right? Did you notice that and she was definitely a girl in this, right? The sort of girl leader of the rebels, and she was definitely female because she had long hair, she had a bikini top, and she was showing off her boobs. This is the gender neutral person that Disney were protecting in The Mandalorian. Make your fucking minds up, Disney, what she is, please. Right, so if she is gender neutral, right, why have you cast her as a female and blatantly portrayed her as a female in an Ant-Man to then cast her as a general neutral and attack anybody that comments about this? Make your minds up. See, they can't even make their effing minds up about this. And I noticed this because I noticed the actress. I really did not like Ant-Man. I'm sorry, Jonathan Majors was actually
the best thing about the film.
Yes, and he's gone. So, I am beyond. I said to you, I remember saying, right. I mean, we did a stream where I was really sort of down on Infinity War, and I kind of took my words back when I went and rewatched and said, Infinity War was a really good movie. Then Endgame came along, and that whoever made the decision to let that movie go the way it did, it's destroyed the MCU. The only movies that have been any good since then, by the sounds of it, are Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Spider-Man 3 and 2.
Yes.
Right, those are the only good movies, and they're not direct Marvel movies, really. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is, but it's kind of not because you've lost that director. And by all accounts, he's going to go on and make a string of really quite successful movies. And Marvel are dead. I genuinely think Disney are in more than trouble. I think Disney are screwed.
The other thing too is I think they've been frigging their numbers. I really think they've been frigging their numbers.
I mean, okay, look, you people are always going to go to the parks, but the Star Wars park, don't think so. I mean, they're launching a Frozen world, aren't they? Which, okay, that's going to get people in. Right. There are still little girls that fucking love Frozen.
Hang on a second. Because they're giving the people what they want. If Disneyland Paris, they've been promising Frozen Place for like 3-4 years now. It's where they had the behind the scenes tour, which is similar to what you got at Universal. This just makes me. It just aggravates me because It's so fucking obvious what you should be doing. It doesn't involve a genius, yeah. And the worst thing is that Universal just get it, but Disney don't get it at all. They really don't get it at all. Just can we? There's lots of people chatting away in the chat, and I feel like we're ignoring them. So do you mind if we just take a moment just to go through some of the chat bits? We'll come back. I just feel that we're being rude and ignoring them. So, oh my God, yes, they have. So hello, Chuck. What's wrong with saying boring? Boring. It's just totally boring.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Wrong.
What's it? You're not my friend anymore, Chuck. I know what you're talking about. And for that comment, the wife approves. That's the only way to go. Doesn't work. Trust me, I have been right. So where Keith has been getting text messages, could you imagine me standing over you, showing you those pictures from the internet, going, "Look what they've done," whilst you're watching the show? Because that's what she's been. It's borderline abuse. That's what she's been subject to. I mean, it takes 3 Chucks to approve.
No, Chuck. Just, I thought you knew this, right? I've learned this after 8 years of marriage, right? Wife right, husband wrong. There's a clip, right, that keeps doing the rounds from Roseanne, right? And it still makes me laugh, right? And it's from the original Roseanne, not like the new one. And David, when Darlene's boyfriend, is like, "I didn't do anything wrong," and Roseanne's going, "You should go and say sorry," "But I didn't say anything wrong." And then husband is whispering, "Doesn't matter." He goes, "You need to go up and apologize." "But I didn't know." "Doesn't matter." But doesn't matter. It's absolutely bloody true.
Yes. Yes, Bill. I saw Fast X. I'm not a fan, but I did enjoy it, and because it's just mental. I'll come back to that in a second.
He loves it. Look. I'm going to see Fast X on Tuesday, right? Fast X 9 is the most stupid, preposterous fucking film ever made. They sent 2 guys into space in a fucking car, right? And I'm not even lying, right?
They could have just pitched the space
in a car. And at the end of the movie, how do we get back down again? "Oh, we better go and bang on the fucking door of the Chinese space station. Excuse me, can you head in, please? We need to get down." It is the most ridiculous thing in the world. And my brain that, you know, is grounded in reality should hate this, should find this really annoying, should be the same as Gareth. I fucking love that movie.
Yes. Right. Okay. So hang on a second. So yeah, I got this one here. Yeah. When are you gonna do? When are you gonna do some more videos, Keith?
I don't know. When I get time. when the day increases to 28 hours a day.
So talking about Harry Potter Studios in the UK, I'm going to show you something from when I went. I don't think I've even shown Keith this actually. Okay.
Please.
This is from It doesn't look so good when I pause it and you can't see the screen properly, but that's really impressive because that catches you off guard. I'm my ruins on, you know. But yes, that was from the thing Harry Potter Studios. Mission Impossible 12, yes, not in 12, 7 coming out on the 12th, not 12 coming out.
You know, they've now officially announced the 3rd part, so it's not 2 parts now. It's
a 3 parts.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Did you see? I know about the end sting. Did you see the end credit sting
for Fast
X? You know, there's an end
credit sting. I'll be honest with you. Marvel has just I had trouble sitting in the thingy.
This is a genuinely good one. Do you know who they featured? Because no one saw this coming. Do you know who it is?
That wasn't the end sting. That was the end of the film.
No, that's Gal Gadot.
Okay,
there's another one. There's another one. Hobbs is back. Hobbs is back. The Rock is officially back
Okay.
because nobody thought he was going to be back. So apparently, the bad guy goes, gay Jason Momoa is
He
now
is. You
targeted.
watch it
I don't care. I love that guy.
after the Rocket League section, and there is a Rocket League section in Rome. He goes really camp.
Look, like your wife, I've got a bit of a man crush on Jason Momoa. We're agreeing a lot today. But I love Jason Momoa. I always have. But yeah, The Rock turns up at the end, right at the end, in the end sting. So The Rock is back. So whatever beef he had with Vin Diesel, it's out the window.
I think it's fucking
bullshit.
made up for media attention.
Yeah, I think
Right, hang on a second. This is right. Just so if you own a Google phone, it takes pictures, puts it into Google Photos, and every so often comes up with a compilation. Yeah. So this is what I got from my wife. And in the middle,
even your phone is taking the piss out of you.
my wife plus Jason Momoa. This is not right. This is not funny. Seriously. Like, no. I think it was called Hugs or something. Slap bang in the middle. Jason bloody Momoa. I showed people at work that when it popped up on my phone. Oh my God. It was funny because I showed this Romanian lady and she didn't know who Jason Momoa was. Is that your brother? No, it's the actor Jason Momoa. He's got much more hair than me. So I'll bring that one up every time I get a chance. It's Watford, not Windsor. The studio
is near Windsor. Yeah, it is near Windsor. Though. It's like 20 minutes.
Okay, it's near Windsor. I would say Watford. Yes.
20, 30
yeah,
minutes.
It is worth seeing. The butterbeer's got better. It's not the same cack that it was previously.
Yeah, I've heard that because there's a cafe here that now sells butterbeer, and apparently it's the same recipes you get at Universal. It's quite nice. I see what Nigel means now. It's less sweet.
Yes,
I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you're in the UK, that'd be quite good. So where was it? See, when I Google London Windsor Eton, it's about 45 minutes to figure it out. Maybe Keith wants to go. Yeah, you got to come back to the UK at some point, Keith, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Legal reasons. Otherwise, you'll renounce your British citizenship.
Yeah, maybe we can do a show in the same room. That could be interesting.
Yeah, we haven't done one of them. We used to do that all the time. Do you remember we had the fun setting Nigel up to record?
Yeah.
But on the bright side, the way this is set up, I can have two cameras all on the same thing.
Yes.
So we can do this and say separate but in the same room. So we can still have the bar down the middle, which would be cool. That's all right. Because you say that, you've got to meet my wife. She's a different kind of determined, I think, is the best way of doing it. Bye, Steve. And there's Bilfer in there somewhere. Where is he?
He's been commenting.
Hello, Bilfer.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, it's. I'm just trying to catch up with some of these. Cracky, you guys are chatting away there. So I think it's looping around. We're going to talk about this next week. Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're going to talk because I've got my ticket booked on Tuesday. I just seen Bilfer's latest comment. Hang on.
Oh, hang on. We've got Kristen here too. Hello.
Hi, Bill.
I heard. My wife heard wife. Now
I'm being questioned.
I don't know if my wife's watching in the stream. So yes.
But
Moses fixed it. Hello.
And we've got wear Gareth's right t-shirt when going to London. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, do it.
When you say Gareth, you mean Keith, right, Biffa? Did you just
No. That's one of the t-shirts that you owe me. Called it. That's right.
Still call the Borg.
Yes.
I've retired. I've retired from calling it.
Right. Yes, that's the best place. If you want butterbeer, you have to go to Universal in Florida.
Yeah, but there is a cafe here that states that they do the same recipe. I quite like it. It's not sweet. The original one at the Harry Potter Studio Tour was sickly sweet, and it was horrible. But I've heard that they've improved it there as well because a lot of people complained. So if it's anything like, but I've heard the Universal one's good. But the one we get here is quite nice, and it's like beer.
I'll have to compare it. It's bloody expensive though. Like every time $1 goes to what's so much is J.K. Rowling's pocket every time I have one of them. Just give her $1.
It's the same here. It's the same cost as a normal beer. It's quite expensive actually. Yeah, it's about £2. So that's expensive for here because a beer is £2 as well. So a bottle of beer.
Okay. All right. Let's okay. So right. So the Star Cruiser shut down because it's crap and it should have done the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy at least. Yeah. Or maybe the Mandalorian or something that someone actually liked. More important.
The Mandalorian's shagged. I mean, apparently, a lot of people are saying that some of Disney's loss on Disney Plus is because just how poorly season 3 of Mandalorian was received. I mean, it's just, again, there are people that I speak to that never watched Book of Boba Fett, so do not understand how Grogu came back, right?
That's a good point. All right, so we've got that, and then so we've got that, the D+ losses, the Star thingy losses, the fact that Harry Potter knows how to do it better, and then we've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, and no, Keith, no, I don't care how you think you're going to spin this. If the critics, if it's as bad as what I'm seeing here on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's the critics who get to watch it early, it is.
I'm not trying to spin this. I'm not trying to spin this. I am conscious that the people that like to make videos that criticize Hollywood survive on negativity, right? And they've jumped on the negative reviews. I have since seen some better reviews. I have seen people who I watch on YouTube that have seen it at Cannes and have said it's not like a resounding success, but they have said it's better than the Crystal Skull. Which is but
shall we just look at the things here? I'm going to show you. Right, so let's go with. Let me go with showing the right bloody screen first. That might help.
What's it on now? It was like 50-something%.
All right, so at the moment, so let's set the baseline. Yeah, so Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. All right, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. We got 77% and 53 audience score. Yeah. Okay, certified fresh. I don't know how, but certified fresh. Okay, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Yeah, okay, all right. So let's now have a look at the Dial of Destiny for the previews. Here we go. Oh, might have pressed the right button. And that is 52%.
But
from the people that you curated to watch your film.
I've got a question for you. First off, right, these people criticize the critics all the time. They have like
no. Right, everyone knows that Rotten Tomatoes is a complete shill site. Yeah, you can pay them to say whatever you want. You can pay them to freeze the Doctor Who review score. Yeah, you can pay them to free all the other things. Yeah, when this site, the shill site, is saying 52%, a film worse than the Crystal Skull. Come on.
I think it's bad, right? And I think it's going to turn out bad. I'm going to be absolutely upfront on it. I'm not trying to spin this. I'm just reserving some judgment. You know, it's like you said. Well, it's like you said with heel versus babyface. You absolutely slagged off Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that is not what a lot of other people have now said, right? So the only people that have seen this are the critics that I normally don't agree with. Right? The Radio Times, who I don't agree with, gave it a good review.
Right, hang on, hold on a second. The critics, yeah, as I said before, they curate the critics. The one Disney are renowned for doing this is getting those people who are going to give them the best score, put them in a room, let them watch the film, let them get that best score. If it's 52% from them, it's not 52%. We're looking at 20. Yeah, this is going to have an audience score in the 20s.
I think you're right. But I am reserving judgment till I see it for myself because I just don't trust. I think you're right. I think I'm going to hate it. I think they've done exactly what I think they've done is made Phoebe Waller-Bridge as equal to Indy, which is just... Didn't you learn from Star Wars? And I think this movie is going to crash and burn. I do, right? I think you're probably right. But there's enough of a... You know, you look at the Radio Times, they've reviewed it well. You look at a few other places, they've reviewed it well. There are YouTubers that have seen it that said it is better than the Crystal Skull. Whether I trust those or not is another matter. I don't think I'm going to like it. I'm trying to reserve judgment, but I can't stand Phoebe Waller-Bridge, right? She just annoys me.
One of the criticisms from them was the fact that Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I don't know, you liked what was the one that you Killing Eve?
No, I liked the first season of Killing Eve. I did not like it subsequently. I thought the first season was quite well written. And the first season was good. The subsequent seasons not so much, but she wasn't involved in writing it. She has some writing skills. I don't like her as an actress. I did not like Fleabag. I don't see what everybody saw so good about Fleabag. And apparently she's just playing Fleabag, but an unfunny version. That's what I've heard in Indiana Jones.
Have you heard, the actress is, the actress Miranda Hart?
Yes, love her. Adore her.
She would be better off doing that. Could you imagine? Ooh! That would be hilarious.
She's in that the spy film that I adore. Which is still fucking funny.
Only Paul Feig film that I actually like.
Yes, and it's got CJ from West Wing in it as the boss, and it's genuinely funny, that film.
Jason Statham in it.
Yes, who's brilliant.
Especially that end bit where she rolls over and he's in bed with her. Because don't be silly, you loved it. That's like, well done.
I genuinely don't think it's going to be good, but I question the credibility now of a lot of these people that we used to agree with all the time, because I saw the same video that you talked about really dissing Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Then I go and watch other people and they're not saying the same as you. So you were either in a very bad mood, but you haven't had the bollocks to come back and say, actually, I was wrong and there's a lot of people who liked it. You haven't done what a lot of other people did with Picard season 3 and went, I liked it, right? I haven't. I love Gary, right? I still love Gary, but they're all jumping on this negativity straight away. Like none of you have seen the movie.
No, hold on a second. Gary, I don't even know the fella. I'm going to defend Gary because Gary turned around and said he liked Guardians of the Galaxy, and he liked Picard season 3, which is fine because it's these. Right, we found it really hard to do the podcast when everything was shit when COVID was on. Yeah. It was difficult. I struggled.
You struggled
because I like talking about good things. It's all talk about what I enjoy. Yeah. If you don't enjoy it, that's fine. But come up with a witty comeback. I love a good witty comeback. And Bilfer's got most of them. Yeah. A witty comeback or something along those lines. But it's the Doomcock syndrome. I'm famous for hating everything. I'm just going to carry on hating everything. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, kind of, dude, if they give you something that's good, just tell them that's what you want. And then when they don't do it, tell them that's not what you want.
And that's what I'm trying to go. I'm going to go and see it. It probably is terrible, but I don't trust movie critics these days because the amount of times that critics have absolutely slammed. They panned Picard season 3, right? Critics had a right go at it, right? And it was good. right? So this is why I don't trust that score yet. When you start seeing an audience score, then I'll go, okay, right? It's probably going to be terrible.
Oh,
It's probably going
Keith,
to pan, right?
right,
But,
hang
yeah.
on a second. All right, so let's just do what I have to do in my job and just go for sheer pattern recognition. Okay, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Willow TV series, Rise of
All that,
Skywalker, Solo, a Star Wars story. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's going to be bad. But what I'm not going to do right now is go, it's terrible, it's crap, it's going to bomb.
Oh, no.
It probably is going to do that.
I agree with you on that. I can't, I haven't seen it.
Saying.
I can't judge it.
But
all signs are pointing at this
pointing
being
exactly.
shocking.
Yes. And if it does, then I'm sorry, Disney needs to burn. And I think they're going to anyway. I think they're done. I think they're in serious trouble because the world is waking up. The world is fed up of this bullshit, right? It is beginning to get fed up of this, right? You know, you only have to look at what's happened in the UK this week. The fucking student union of Oxford University voted to split with the Oxford Union because they can't debate anything anymore. We're fucked. And Disney is well and truly fucked. And this is going to bomb. I think it will. I look at it and I think you're right. I think all the signs are pointing to it, but I'm trying to reserve a tiny bit of judgment. The only Star Wars that I go on.
It's annoying because it's Laurie brought out the fact that this is Harrison Ford's 80. Yeah, this is probably his last feature film.
Yeah. Well, he's been doing well on that Apple TV series. There was an Apple film. Yeah, possibly.
Okay, this will be his last feature film. Okay, and it's funny when he was in my area and he broke his leg, he refused to go to my hospital and got someone to get him in a helicopter and take him to London.
That's true.
Yes, I'd like to think that my area is famous for Harrison Ford, a couple of miles up the road, breaking his leg in the door of the Millennium Falcon. No, I say break a leg. But yeah, it's his last feature film. So part of me is like wants to watch this because end of an era sort of thing. But the other part of me is like, oh my god, it's gonna be shit. But there's another part of me going, I've got a cinema subscription. I'll be fine.
I mean, there's so many films coming out that I've got to find time to go and see this summer, and I will definitely go and see that. There is a trailer. Have you seen the trailer to the guy that made Rogue One, this new sci-fi movie? Have you seen it? Called The Crafted, I think. What's it called?
The Crafted.
No, hang on.
Sounds like a bit of something Chuck would be interested in. Craft beer.
What's his name? Who made it? Who made the damn film? Who made Rogue One? What's his name? The director.
Gareth Evans. Gareth something.
Yeah.
Gareth something. It's Gareth something. I know that because he shares the same name as me.
Yeah.
What's it called? Come on. Okay, come on. People listening.
This is
been boring. Come on. I'll bet you another T-shirt that you won't get it done in the next 30 seconds.
No, I won't. I'm too slow. Hang on. Gareth Edwards. Right. So Gareth Edwards' new film is coming, and it is called The Creator. And it looks interesting.
Have you put the trailer on?
It's an interesting looking trailer.
Oh, I've seen screenshots of this in my let's put that. I've seen screenshots of it in my bloody feed. So let's have a look at this first, and then we'll talk about the silo in a bit.
Yeah, I want to talk just before we go because I just got one more bit of Star Wars, and I wanted to just talk about Jedi Survivor very briefly because I like the game. I've loved the story except for one thing.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a bit of controversy around Jedi Survivor. I've enjoyed it. I'm nearly finished it. I've been holding back and intentionally doing a bit of exploring to sort of build up my skill points and shit like that before I go and kick the final boss's ass. And I found a load of like secret things and great little Easter eggs. There is one bit that happens where you take on the role of. So there's this amazing twist in the game, right? And it
Okay, hang on a
genuinely
second.
was a bloody good
Forgive
twist.
me. Sorry, I just had to squeeze that in. For podcast listeners, there was a little thing that popped up that says, "Just no Keith."
So anyway, there's an amazing twist, and I won't spoil it for you. And after that, Cal Kestis kind of gets his arse handed to him, right? And then he kind of dies, right? And he goes respawn, and then you respawn into the Jedi lady that you play, was like following you, the woman with the pop out eyes in the first game, right?
Okay.
Now, she is immediately like uber powerful, kicks everybody's ass, takes on the entire freaking empire and kicks their ass, right? And we're like, okay, it's kind of cool, but really, right? And then you get to back to the base, right? And I immediately knew what was going to happen next because you get into this pit, right? You're in a pit, right? I was like, okay, Vader's about to turn up, and Vader turns up, right? I was like, oh, cool, it's fucking Vader, right? She basically kicks Vader's ass, and it's only because by chance Vader manages to ignite his fucking lightsaber. She's coming in for a kill shot, right? That he kills her. Spoiler, right? And then Vader staggers off. Now, this has caused a lot of controversy, and it kind of pissed me off because Vader, once he becomes Darth Vader, is never defeated, right? Which makes Vader's sacrifice at the end of Jedi that much more important, right? That much more of an important father-son story. Vader at this point in time is uber fucking powerful, right? I mean, he literally took on every Jedi and killed them in the Jedi Temple. This guy, Order 66, this guy is like the most powerful Sith Lord. He's more powerful than the Emperor, and the Emperor knows it, right? And yet this woman basically hands it to him. Really annoyed me.
Sounds like it's a Disney mandate.
And yeah, and it's there, and it really detracts from what is actually, Gareth, a really good story, right? There's a father-daughter relationship in there, right? The romance with Cal, spoiler, feels natural and earned, right? The father-daughter story, you understand it, right? So it's not a bad guy. It's not there's more to it. There's more nuance to it. Everything around that, it's a great Star Wars story. It's just this one bit that actually really detracts it and makes it less good than Fallen Order. And that annoys me because otherwise, actually, the story is in many ways better. I don't mind them going down the High Republic route because it's been interesting. It's been different. Why do we always have to go the Empire route? We can have the Empire there, but do something different. And they've done that. And it felt like Star Wars. It's probably the best Star Wars they've done with the exception of Andor. But they kind of emasculated Vader. And you don't do that. Vader is the greatest bad guy of all time. Stop fucking with him, Disney.
Okay.
Done. Now show this amazing trailer.
What's heaven?
It's a peaceful place in the sky.
Are you going to heaven?
No.
Why not?
You gotta be a good person to go to heaven.
10 years ago today, the artificial intelligence created to protect us detonated a nuclear warhead in Los Angeles.
Good job.
As long as AI is a threat, we will never stop hunting them. This is a fight for our very existence.
He bloody loves filming in Canary. Yeah, he loves filming in Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
Whatever's in there, they're sure worried about someone getting in.
Yeah, we're getting out.
We're the same. We can't go to heaven because you're not good. And I'm not a person.
Did you locate the weapon?
Yeah, it's a kid.
Seatbelt.
What do you want with the child? We are this close to winning the war. Execute her, or we go extinct.
They're coming to get me.
Hang on. So, Now, I have premise disagreements, if that makes any sense. More than anything else. Right, so yeah, there's some drone shots in there. All right, Chuck. There's some drone shots in there.
It's a good trailer.
So it is a good trailer. It is. I'm there. It's like the Indiana Jones trailer. The film's gonna be crap, but I enjoyed the trailer. It's like the Prometheus trailer. Film may be disagreeable on the quality, but the trailer for Prometheus, brilliant trailer. I think the film's going to be fine. It's got Denzel Washington's kid in it. It's weird to say his kid in it because he's bloody, what's it, 5 years younger than us, maybe. It's it looks good. It looks interesting. I'm getting Oblivion vibes, if that makes any sense.
It gave me some Oblivion vibes. There's other sort of vibes in there. The crushing of the robots that you saw there is very much the prequel to one of the Animatrix prequels. And I was watching that going, this kind of has the vibes of how the Matrix was created. This better not be like a backdoor prequel to the Matrix. Although that actually might be quite cool. If they hadn't destroyed it with that ridiculously stupid Matrix 4 movie.
Right, hang on a second. No, right. That Matrix 4 movie, we have to go after. Me and you need to sit down and watch that together. That Matrix 4 movie is nothing to do with the Matrix and everything to do with Hollywood film industry.
Yes, I know.
It really is. It's such a clever commentary on how shit the Hollywood movie industry is with the guys that is a Matrix sequel. When you see it like that,
you're possibly right there.
No, it's obvious. When you start peeling away at stuff, you just go, oh my god, it is, isn't it? So yeah.
But I like the look of it. The thing that excited me was it was new. It looked something different. It looked a sci-fi film that isn't part of a franchise. It's by a guy that can create films. I still think his version of Rogue One, and had Disney not really screwed with it and been allowed to get on with it, would have been a much better version. Although I like Rogue One, and I like Andor, and by all accounts they've screwed less with Andor, and it kind of shows. But this looks interesting. I like it. I like the look of it. Now, it could be a shit film, right? There is the possibility of the girl that is the key to everything in that trailer. I heard it. I saw it. But this is Gareth Edwards, and I've liked his stuff. I've liked his films. I suspect that I'm going to like this. Could be wrong.
It's worth a watch. I think it's something to keep an eye on. Unless someone comes out and goes, "Oh my god, don't watch it." Yeah, that looks like something worth watching. It's nice because we started to get films because we had thingy, and it was it's okay, cool. All right.
I really liked his Monsters film. It was a very underrated film. Not a lot of people watched. I didn't like Godzilla that he made, but Monsters was quite a good film. Rogue One was good. Godzilla was okay, but it wasn't like amazing. Monsters was genuinely quite a good film. And if you've never seen that, it was a 2010 film which I saw at the cinema. I thought it was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed that film. Low budget sci-fi film, really fucking good. I'm hoping that this is a similar thing. So I've liked more of his films than I've disliked. I mean, I didn't dislike the 2014 Godzilla, but it wasn't the best. It was really good until Godzilla turned up. That's the problem with it.
Godzilla versus King Kong. That's what I want. Big monkey fights big lizard. I don't need complicated plots and humans.
Well, they've released a trailer, haven't they, for the next Godzilla and Kong movie, and that kind of looks interesting. So I'm up for that. I mean, I liked Mechazilla. That was ridiculous fun. We need to talk about the silo and how we're right and you're wrong.
No. All right, just bloody no. Okay. So the silo's based on a set of books, yeah, and me and you had this argument, okay, and so who's agreeing with you in the chat?
Your wife. Sorry, trump card.
You know why?
Trump card.
Right? You know why? Because she's been getting shit from me about this is Fallout, okay? So it goes like this, yeah.
You're not the only one.
So it's based on a load of books that were written in 2011 onwards, yeah. Fallout was 96 or 97. So Fallout's been out longer. Fallout's more stylized. Fallout's getting made by Christopher Nolan's brother, Jonathan Nolan, who's responsible for Person of Interest, The Peripheral, and the first series of Westworld. He's not responsible for the second one. That's J.J. Abrams. But there is one thing that me and you can agree on.
Hello there.
You've had that prepped.
I had to finish that off today. I forgot I promised you that. I just hang on a second.
Okay,
My wife's watching. I need to see what she's written in the chat.
Really. Okay, Tanner, that's not the reason I like it, although it helps. Do you know what the premise is? Because you are comparing it to Fallout, and I don't want to spoil it for Tanith, so I'm not going to spoil it. But it's not Fallout. That's why it might look stylized like Fallout.
I read the summary of the story, yeah, and what you have to understand is Fallout is so rich in its storytelling. He has covered this. He has actually covered this. Yeah, he has covered this. Yeah.
Okay, look, in Fallout there is a nuclear bomb. In this, spoilers,
no, in Fallout there is a nuclear apocalypse as China and America.
But there is no apocalypse in these books. This is that. That's. I mean, you even see it in the third episode when power goes down and the power goes off and the screen loses its like reality thing, and you see greenery outside, right, for a brief second, right, and that's true. That's real. That is what is actually outside.
Hang on, hold on a second. No, it's a one-off, mate. It's if you missed it, you missed it. Sorry, just a cheap gag because I was trying to find something we both agreed on because it's like, all right, so
okay, look, right. Before you go off in your rant, and you're right, I have to agree with a lot of your pictures of what you said. I think this has been well cast. I thought the fourth episode was the weakest of the lot so far. Didn't find the fourth episode as interesting, although it gave us a bit of her backstory, but it was a bit
dull. It was dull. I
Dull.
watched it, it
Yeah.
was dull.
But the first 3 episodes I really enjoyed. I found the 3rd episode really good. Actually, I really enjoyed that 3rd episode. It was really good. The 4th episode was a bit meh, but it is going somewhere, and it's not going in the same direction as Fallout, and that's what I find interesting. So I know what happens, and it's like, okay, this is not Fallout. There is no nuclear bomb. Spoilers, right? There is no disease outside. Spoilers. This is going to get interesting. So, and look, again, Apple spent some money on it. They've cast it well, right? It's got a fucking great cast.
Right, so
I've enjoyed it.
My first thing was that the Fallout TV series was announced like eons ago. Yeah. So
I
it
agree
was
with
like
you.
pre-pandemic for the Fallout TV
Yes,
series. So I think that what Apple's done is they've tried to jump on the bandwagon. Tim goes, "Oh no, we've got a series like Fallout," and they literally picked something like that.
The amount of rumors that are going, Apple's trying to get as much sci-fi content as it possibly can. It's trying to buy up existing sci-fi content. Who knows? I mean, if there's rumors true that Paramount might end up selling them Star Trek, who knows? By the way.
Oh, he's frozen. He had nothing important to say anyway.
I did. Over 50,000 subscriptions on that Legacy.
Like God has stepped in to save me. The God of the internet has stepped in. Sorry.
Look, I get it. I can't disagree with all of what you sent me, but I'm enjoying it. I purposely not played those bloody Fallout games because I know that I will become obsessed with them. I'm trying to stay away from Zelda at the moment because the last time I played Zelda, I nearly got a divorce because I spent 4 fucking months and became so obsessed with that game. It was ridiculous, right? And I just do not have time to have that level of obsession with a game. And I know the latest Zelda game is equally as obsessive. And I know that the Fallout 4, whatever the last one was out, and I said I'm not going to play it because I will get lost in it with all the base building. And what you showed me, I was going, I love this game. I'm not going to play it. I kind of love my wife more.
Right, sorry. So my wife's put a comment up, and I know for a fact that when she was at university, she lost evenings to The Sims. Yeah, she lost so much time to The Sims.
SimCity. Anything like that, I'm the same, and I know that I'll be the same with the Fallout games. So I'm not denying what you're saying. I just think it's well made, and with the exception of the full story, I've enjoyed it.
My first question and my first problem with the entire show goes as follows: why isn't there a bloody lift in the place?
I think you'll find that there are answers for that.
Okay, all right. So I'm sorry. When I go off on one, I like to document all my stuff. So there's this place, and it's nicer looking than the silo. It's called the Institute in Fallout 4. They've got a lift. Shall I point out right down the center?
Yes. But there's an answer for it.
And then there's a big old door that leads up and out, just like in Fallout. And then there's the bit underneath the Institute, or the vaults in some cases. It looks pretty similar to that. Computer terminals, okay, they've got a bit more color in them. Yeah, that's a little suspicious. I say this looks like Tim Robbins. You can disagree, okay?
No, I agree with you. It does a bit.
This is a character called Moira McTaggart that looks like Juliet, apart from she's a bit more friendly. The sheriff from Megaton, who looks like the sheriff from Thingy, and Rebecca Ferguson. Oh, I'm gonna have to set up more cheap gags for next week now. It's slow. Right. That's my first problem with it. It is really slow.
The 4th episode was. I'd argue the 3rd episode wasn't. The 3rd episode I really enjoyed. It was my favorite episode so far. I kind of knew the backstory because I've heard of this story before. So I knew the premise of it, and I know kind of what's going to happen. Although there's another book coming, so it's not over with yet. I find this interesting because it's not what you think it is. and and there is a reason.
it's
why
the
not
island.
listed in the silo. No, it's not.
It's the island.
No, it's not.
I bet you I will. I can if I go.
Well,
through it,
the books don't end like the island. Whether this does, it has differed from the books in some places. There is a kind of plague, but again, it's not what you think. I find if it's towing the line of the books, which they've said it is, I think it's going to be interesting. Is it slow? I see why you think the first 2 episodes are slow. I get that. And look, it's not for everyone. I just think it's some quite good sci-fi that we haven't had for a long time, with the exception of Picard season 3. I enjoyed it. But the 4th episode was slow. That was slow. So if it goes like that for the rest, then I will change my mind by the end of it. I'm hoping it won't. But I enjoyed the first
book
3
series.
episodes.
What's it? The first 3 books are called Wool, Rock, and Toilet Paper, if I remember correctly.
Not toilet paper, but you're right. You're right.
It's the most valuable thing in that silo will be toilet
paper.
But
the books are made up of lots of short stories from different character perspectives within the silo. The first one is.
Okay, so there's no friendly AI pretending to be the US president.
No.
Voiced by Malcolm McDowell.
There is some. There are some overlords, but they're not AIs. So
not mutant overlords.
You see, again, no one's talking about it. I mean, they show you a scene there when they power down the generator. The screen blinks and you see green, right? Somehow no one noticed that, right? I did.
No, loads of people noticed that.
Yeah, no one noticed it in the silo. No one noticed it in the silo, even though there's people in there. Like, there's people staring at the screen. It's like, duh.
But they've never seen it look green. It could just be an image fault for all they know.
True.
Yeah, it's a perspective thing. If it was us, because we've been outside, we know what outside looks like, it would be completely different.
But that is real. When people die around when they go outside and die, that is also real. But what's killing them is not.
It's the bloody thing that they're wearing. They're being poisoned. It was obvious because the moment I would have got outside and saw it green, I would have gone to the camera. And went, it's fine out here, guys. Come join me. But no, didn't do that. That's why. I find it irritating. I do. It's irritating.
That's only part of it. There is another part to it that's part of it. There is another part to it. There is something there.
There's something underneath,
AI,
isn't there?
AI does come into it, but not in the way you think. Look, right? I get it. I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not for everyone. I get, you've seen Fallout. I think you're looking forward to the Fallout series. And in all fairness to you, you've loved the Fallout games, and I completely understand that. And you're not wrong. There are enough similarities there, so I can understand why it annoys you. I get it. One thing just before, just to finish on a happy note, I loved this week's Ted Lasso. I really, really loved that episode. I was quite emotional by the end of that episode.
I can remember it, but I can't remember being emotional.
Well, Keely getting back with Roy, that gave me, that made me kind of smile.
Oh, that was nice.
That was lovely. That made me, it made me emotional in a good way. And I kind of liked the whole Rebecca scenes as well. Do you think they are setting up Roy Keane to be the manager?
Yes.
To take over from Ted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Him and what's his mush? Nathan.
Yeah, God, still...
Nathan's going to get his redemption. That's it.
He hasn't had it yet. He hasn't had it yet. Yeah.
I'm working on another one for next week. It's called Bad Taco and involves Mexicans and Lieutenant Ripley. You have to figure out. You have to wait till next week to see that one. Okay.
I did enjoy Ted Lasso. We've got 2 episodes of that left. You're not being disruptive. You're making me piss myself. We've got 2 episodes of that left. I don't want to see it end. Actually, now I've been enjoying the last few episodes.
There were like 2 episodes that are cack in the series.
Yeah, I agree with you.
There have been 2 episodes that have been quite cack in it, and they've covered some things that they've not investigated properly, shall we say? Which kind of irritated me.
I loved Roy's scene with the press. I love Roy Kent. I've always liked his character. I've enjoyed his character right from the offset. He you just know that he's a really nice guy underneath the gruffness, and I love that about him. And I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's playing Roy Kent on the Muppets. Have you ever seen not the Muppets, on Sesame Street? The actor was featured, but he's playing Roy Kent. So it's Roy Kent on Sesame Street. It's fucking genius. Genius. Oi! I love that. I mean, I love him. I love him. The trouble is, he swears like a trooper, but your grandmother just wants to give him a great big hug. I think that's genius. I think the character's genius.
I remember, was it the second series? Towards the end of the second series, Jamie Tart does something and he apologizes to him. And he goes up to him and he just goes, "Fuck!" like that. He goes, "I can't be angry at you because you apologized," and then walks off in the most angry fashion, which I thought was great.
I think Jamie Tart's story has been genius because I really fucking hated him in the first season, and now I love him.
Yes, you're rooting for him now, aren't you?
Oh God, yes, genius. His and Roy Kent's like nighttime adventurer in Amsterdam, just genius, just total genius. I'm enjoying it. I am really enjoying it, and I don't want to see it go. Actually, Apple TV's had some good things, and I finished Blackbird. We never really actually talked about. Well, you and I talked about it, but we never talked about it on the stream. Loved that. That was a very good call.
The last bit where he snaps is fantastic because that has been building in him. Yeah,
Severance I really enjoyed, so thank you for that recommendation. Great twist at the end, because you spoiled it, but I kind of was beginning to see it coming.
I'm trying to bloody sell you on it, and sometimes you have to.
It worked.
These things.
It worked. Enjoyed it. Apple TV's had some good stuff recently. It has. Yeah. So nothing. We got Manifest, the final 10 parts of Manifest that Nige was watching, coming out in a couple of weeks' time. You've not watched that. You don't want to.
I've not watched Manifest. Oh yeah, I think I went to go watch Manifest on Netflix, and it started at season 4.
I think they've got all the seasons there now. I think.
No, they haven't. I was very annoyed because I saw it advertised. Oh, and I was like, "Oh, fuck you!" And then I looked on Amazon to see if I can find it on Amazon. Okay, cool. Let's just do some housekeeping. So first things first. Chuck's got a video going out tonight, hasn't he? Probably. He always does.
Yeah, road trip to London.
Road trip to London. You can't do a road trip to London. There's no roads. It's like across the ocean. I completely disagree with that title. And then the next part of that too is you did Nando's wrong. Okay, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to do your 30 minutes of standard cardio, then your 20 minutes of weight for your chest, 20 minutes for your arms, 20 minutes.
He still doesn't understand the significance. He hasn't realised yet that he's declared war on Britain. He hasn't. I mean, they're coming back to Britain. They're coming back to the UK probably in October. They're going to get lynched. There's going to be thousands of angry Nando fans going, "Roar!"
I'll have to. I'll have to sort something out so I can meet up with him. I'll see if I can get my hat. He likes the hat, or maybe Laurie a hat.
I tell you what, right? Joking aside, right? What does Gavin think of Nando's? Truth be told, because
Gavin likes Nando's. Gavin likes Nando's.
Okay, now you see, I take Gavin's recommendation because whilst Chuck is right about barbecue being American, Gareth
right, hang on a second. First things first.
guy.
It's Gavin will give you a history of Nando's. It's not barbecue. That's the first thing. It's not barbecue. All right. It's certificate.
Therefore, it can't be compared to your wrong, Chuck.
Simple. It's not that. It's just it's South African spiced grilled chicken. That's supposed to be quite healthy for you. That's why you have to go to the gym first and then do the Nando's after to get your protein in. Simple. Just wailing on poor Chuck there. So yeah, we've got that. Beer Stupid Gamers in the chat. He's a live streamer. I don't know if I'll be streaming with. I don't know if he's streaming on Twitch tonight. For what do you call it? The Last of Us, Among Us. I played, right, so I was invited to the game, or actually invited myself, which is incredibly rude, and I played 4-dimensional chess at Among Us. So what I did, is I accused myself every time, regardless if I was the imposter or not. And then after the 4th game, everyone just believed whatever I said. And people were getting ejected. And everyone just found it really weird. Why is he outing himself? But yes. Oh, cool. Oh, he actually wants you to join us, Keith. But I tried to explain that that's like 4 a.m. when you get to see you get to play. So.
If we're going to do it on a Sunday night, in a couple of weeks' time, I'm changing my day off, so I might book a day off and join you guys. I might try and do that. Yeah. Yeah,
okay, you can join us. You can join us.
I have to. Yeah, we have to do it again. And the thing is, just so to explain, I have a really busy schedule, so I've got to kind of plan this in advance. But I'm up for it.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
up for it.
I'm sure he'd be good for that. And also, yeah, don't watch his. He plays a game called Dinner Lady or something along those lines. Don't watch it from his. There's another lady who plays with him, an English lady. It's naturally she's superior. Watch her one because it's not as sick as his one because he's a sick puppy. He's a sick puppy. So we've got that. Gaming Face Punch. For podcast listeners, they know that they get 2 podcasts a week. One beautiful with intelligent conversation, and then there's this one. So the Gaming Face Punch channel.
I'm sorry. Whoa. I beg to differ. You've got Nigel and a Brummie on there. Are you seriously going to try and pass that off?
And I've got you on this podcast. Argument settled.
No. Nige and a Brummie, right? One who's constantly drinking Bovril, and Nige. Sorry, Babs.
Hang on a second. No. Perhaps that offers intelligent conversation. I'll have you know.
I know. I'm putting his leg. I'm joking. I've seen all your shorts coming up. I'm liking them all. And there's a lot coming up now. So yeah, I keep seeing them pop up on Insta and the YouTube.
We just hit 50,000 viewers.
Well done.
Not subscribers. 50,000 views. Sorry, viewers. 50,000 views, which is good. Admittedly, 10,000 of them are just me checking stuff, but I'll take the other 40,000.
Checking stuff. Oh, I look so good there today. Oh God, yeah, I said something really intelligent there. That's
amazing. What you do, Keith. That's what you do, Keith. Just read the comment.
Nigel is awesome, creepy little murderer in a closet. Yeah, it's true. Although he can fuck off, right? I saw his thing about Jedi Survivor, the cheeky git.
What did he say about Jedi Survivor?
I don't care that your score's higher. You're playing on story mode. Don't lie.
Anyway.
When you play on master mode, then you can diss me.
And on that note, I think it's time we say goodbye to everyone. Thank you very much in the chat. Go check out Chuck's channel at Covaction. It's just Covaction now, isn't it? It's not Covaction Journography.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Go check his thing out. He's got lovely. I like his travel blogs. They're nice. They're friendly. He does do his bridge porn thing, and he does drink a lot, but I find that entertaining. Go follow Be a Stupid Gamer on Twitch because he's funny and rude and a sick puppy. And more importantly, subscribe to us on the Gaming Face Punch channel as well because we do gaming news and it's all fun and games. And we're 318 subscribers at the moment and climbing, and we want to carry on. So thank you very much. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me. See you next week.
See ya. Bye.